Hello everyone, Beastie here. I am back with another guide. Ooh, spoilers. I'm joking, this is against an AI. So I'm back with another guide. You've probably already seen the Battle Mech guide against Zerg. Well, now today we're doing Battle Mech guide against Protoss. And then I'm going to also do a Battle Mech guide against Terrans later on. Okay, so let's just jump straight into the game. So the new patch hit, which I think most of you are aware of, and Cyclones are changed to where they have a lot more micro potential, and this is really good, especially against Protoss units, because usually in the previous patches when you go mech, you kind of just get rolled over by Protoss, because you know you can't really micro your tanks, you can't really micro your Thors too much. Yeah, you can micro your Hellions, but they're better as Hellbats, so yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about Mech against Protoss, the Battle Mech against Protoss, the build order. Let's talk about the engagements and what you should be doing when you should be transitioning. So first things first, I prefer gas first in Terran vs Protoss specifically. I don't like barracks into gas in this matchup because you want that factory out as fast as you possibly can. So I'm gonna do a usual scout on 17 or 18 supply. 17 supply is better, but I guess here I did it again on 18. And you're gonna get a Reaper out to get that usual scouting, the follow-up scout, what I like to call it, after the initial SCV scout, which again you're checking in if the Protoss is 1 basing or 2 basing. I did guides on scouting Protoss in the past, so if you're interested in that, you can check that out. But yeah, you know, yes, he's going across the map, checking what there is to check, and then you're gonna follow up and see what tech the Protoss is going for with your Reaper Scout. Getting the expand, and after the expand, I'll be getting a factory as fast as possible. The reason why I prefer gas first build in TVP is because the adept harassment can sometimes arrive really early, and having that a Cyclone out as fast as you possibly can is just better, and it will cause you less headache. So the moment Reaper is out, you can see the factory is already going. I'm getting a tech lab, and I'm gonna get a supply depot as well right here. After the supply depot is started, I'm gonna get my second gas while consistently producing my SCVs. Now, this Reaper, since it's a game against an AI, I'm not going to be using it. But just like normal TVP games, once you confirm that Protoss has an expansion with your SCV, you know, wait around a little bit, try to kill a probe, don't lose the Reaper, and make sure, this is very important, especially with this style, make sure you know what tech Protoss is going for, whether it's Stargate, Twilight, or Robo, because it will change the way you play the early game, which is super important. So focus, don't let your Reaper die, and scout what you need to scout. So my CC is finishing. The moment the factory finishes, you're gonna put it onto the tech lab, and you're gonna start producing Cyclones. Battle Mech is already rolling, so you don't want any reactor Hellion crap, because Hellions in general bad against Protoss. Yes, you can kill some probes, but if the Protoss is aggressive, you're gonna struggle with defending. The moment you have 100 gas after you started a Cyclone, you're gonna start Magfill Accelerator upgrade, which gives you another 400 damage against armored units. It's pretty good, right? Pretty good. So your first Cyclone is out, and this is the part about this new mech that I absolutely love. So with this build, look at the timer. It's 3:22 and my third CC is started. This is the beautiful part about the Battle Mech. So in the old patch, you could not get your third base this quickly because you would simply die. This Cyclone is so much more powerful in the early game than the previous one. It does so many different things better than the old Cyclone, and you can micro it and get so much value out of it. So around this time, if the Protoss is harassing you with the Adept or whatever, this Cyclone will absolutely destroy it. If it's a Stalker, it will destroy it. So you don't have to struggle or, you know, lose SCVs or bleed Marines because of that. Now, why did I say that scouting is extremely important, and knowing what tech he's going for. Well, this is why. So at this point, if you scouted the Stargate, you're gonna obviously chill in your main base, right? Like, you can't really push out if there's an Oracle coming, because then you're gonna lose SCVs. So that's one thing. Second thing, if this is a Twilight, when I see Twilight in TVP and I'm doing this matchup, instantly what I'm thinking is just go across the map and start putting pressure. Just walk this Cyclone straight across the map and start putting pressure at the front. In theory, you should never lose your Cyclone because you can just out-micro the Protoss units. Protosses will probably be forced to make shield batteries or kind of hold down the ramps right here so that you have to run up the ramp and then the Stalkers can shoot you, so be careful of that. But if it's a open ground, you should always be getting the better trades, especially once the Mech Terran upgrade finishes. Now, if this is a robo build, you can also go across the map and put some pressure, but be very careful of the Immortals or even War Prism kind of like pushing into your Cyclones and dropping the units on top and killing them. But against the Stargate, you want to play more defensive because of the Oracle boys. Now, one thing I want to mention is there is a counter to this, and I know that Protosses are also watching my videos as well as Terrans, but it is what it is, boys. I gotta protect my Protoss boys as well against this, because this will be a lot of struggle for a lot of Protosses to defend until people learn what to do against it. So the counter to this is Phoenix. Now, it's not necessarily a counter into an auto win, but if the Protoss goes straight into Phoenix and then has like 3 gates and pushes, you can basically just lift your Cyclones and beat the hell out of you. So that's why when you play against the Stargate, you need to be very, very, very careful where and how you move your Cyclones. So for example, if your Cyclones are here and he comes up and lifts up everything and, you know, you just lose the game, pretty much. But if your Cyclones are here, then his ground army is going to have harder time approaching your Cyclones. Or if your Cyclones are here, maybe you have a missile turret and so on, then the Phoenix will not be just, you know, auto win. Especially if you're pushing across the map with 3 Cyclones and he just lifts all 3 of them up and kills you, well, that's probably a GG. So be very, very careful when you play against Stargate, especially against Phoenix, and maybe even drop a scan later on, like a minute and a half later, you know, to see if the Stargate that you've quote-unquote scattered with your Reaper, if it's producing Phoenix or if it's just not producing anything. Because if it's not producing anything, you can push on after you've taken care of the Oracle. But if it is producing Phoenix, be very, very careful. I know I'm kind of like hammering into this, but it's very important because you will lose games straight up because of it. So, fast 3rd CC, like I said, is what I love. Keep producing the Cyclones. At the moment you have 200 gas while producing Cyclones at all times, you will want to add more factories, and you will actually see me get the double gas super, super early. The reason for that is, well, you want the Cyclones and you don't really care that much about the Hellion production. So you will have way, way too many minerals, and you'll see around 4 minutes, I think, I'll start my double gas on the natural. There we go. And this is where the Reaper went in, right? This is an AI, but, you know, let's just pretend. You should have gone at 330, 320. But this is my second scout with the Reaper, I guess. And if I saw that this was Twilight or Robo, I would be already pushing out with these Cyclones, especially with the upgrade finishing. If this was a Stargate, I would put 1 Cyclone in the main, 1 Cyclone in the natural, and just kind of wait for the Oracle to arrive. And, well, the new Cyclones absolutely destroy Oracles, so that's great. Now, you will see my 2nd and 3rd factory pop up very soon, and basically off of 3 base production, you want to go up to 8 factories. Yeah, you heard that right, 8 factories. Because your units are basically as cheap as bio, and you want to be producing a buttload of Cyclones. I do not use Starport in this playstyle at all. Maybe in the super late game if you want to go battlecruisers, but battlecruisers are trash against Tempests. So I would stick with Cyclones because Cyclones absolutely demolish Protoss air, which is great. So you see I'm walling off my natural, which is what I do every game, If they win Stargate, you can, you know, drop an engineering bay, get a missile turret or two. Third base is done. Drop the mule, and I'm going to soon transfer it to my third base to start mining. Getting another tech lab and then a reactor, because you do want to have some Hellions, you do want to have some units tanking for your Cyclones. And these bad boys are very, very dangerous. Now, as the game goes on, I'm adding armory right now after my factories are done. I'm going to be adding more and more factories as the game goes on. And one super, super important thing is you need to constantly expand with battle mech. Just like against Zerg, you will not win the fights by getting to 200 and just A-moving. You're going to be winning games against Protoss, Zerg, or Terran if you're consistently trading with the lock-on ability that is very, very powerful. So make sure you try, if there's no Phoenix, try to lock on to the Protoss units, you know, drop a scan to make sure you have vision and slowly run away. You pick off a couple of units for free and then you back off. Another great usage that you can do with Cyclones is sniping down the Nexus. You can lock on with like 10 Cyclones on a single Nexus. Each Cyclone does 800 damage over 14 seconds. So you can absolutely kill the base extremely, extremely quickly. Now, one thing I want to talk about is the same like TVZ, you will not be getting the attack upgrades. Why? Because the lock-on ability is a spell, and the only damage you'll be getting is from auto attacks from Cyclones, which actually suck quite a bit. So you never want to be just sitting there and auto attacking. You always want to be kiting and locking onto things, which is why armor is much, much better, because it will make your Cyclones, you know, a little bit more tankier, and it also will give your Hellions and Hellbats more armor to tank these Zealots. I'm getting the blue flame, getting more factories. You can see I'm spending my money very well, getting the more gases on my third. And like I said, the moment you have 400 minerals and you're already producing units, drop another base, keep expanding, never stop, because you want to out macro your opponents and out trade them in the long run. Oh, I actually messed up this game. Okay, so when you have 5 factories, you want to have 4 tech labs and 1 reactor. Make sure to remember that, because your main army focus will be the Cyclones, and those are the bad boys that you want to be killing people with. Now, you're going to see a lot of upgrades in the production tab. So I'm getting my blue flame because, you know, you do have Hellions, so why not get blue flame, right? Increase their damage a little bit. But you're also seeing this smart servos, which is for excuse me, for the transformation from Hellion to Hellbat. Sometimes you might get caught by the Protoss army. It's good to be able to transform your Hellions straight into Hellbats. And the last upgrade is Drilling Claws. Now, this is something that's very, very interesting, and something that you will and should use in your game. So as you guys know, or maybe not know, in this patch that we have live right now, the Drilling Claw upgrade gives the Widow Mines not only faster burrow, but I think it still gives faster burrow, right? Just double check. Pretty sure it gives it faster burrow. Would be kind of crazy to... Yeah, so they burrow 3 times as fast, and Widow Mines are no longer revealed while reloading. So what does this mean? When they shoot, they won't be, uncovered and not stealthed like they were in the previous patch. Once you have this upgrade, they will remain stealthed even when they shoot their whatever rocket, I don't know what it is, and that will require for the opponent to have detection. And this is incredibly good against Protoss, because you can snipe the observers super easily with your Cyclones, and then you have Widow Mines. Well, he's going to have to walk over a bunch of Widow Mines. So when do you make Widow Mines? If the Protoss is focusing heavily on Tempests, obviously Widow Mines are not going to help much. Making Cyclones is better. If the Protoss is focusing on Colossus or Disruptors or Immortals, the pure Cyclone is just better, because those are all armored units that Cyclones will chew through. Absolutely. You want to be getting some Widow Mines with Drilling Claws, preferably when you're playing against stuff like Mass Adept and Mass Zealots, which is something you're going to face quite often. So, for example, units like Immortals, you can lock on and kite very easily, but if there's 30 Zealots and you have 10-15 Cyclones, it's obviously going to be a lot harder to kite those, because, you know, you have to lock on, you have to kill a Zealot, then the lock on has to recharge, and by then Zealots will probably, you know, kill your main base. So you do want to have some Widow Mines against mass charge lot builds, because they will splash the shit out of the Zealots, and there will also be birds, so you won't be losing them, assuming you snipe the Observer. Basically, this is it. I mean, it's a little bit of a short guide, I guess, but just mass Cyclones, do Hellion, keep making Hellions as a support to do Cyclones. Try to snipe Protoss bases. It's very, very easily. You don't need a lot of minerals, so don't overuse mules. Having vision with this style is extremely important, whether it's, oh, you know, let me check if his army's here so I can scan and snipe the base, or even if you lock on, let's say your army's here, Protoss army's here, if you lock on and he runs up the ramp, drop a scan, because if you don't have the vision, the lock on will stop. So make sure once you're locked on, you have the vision of the Protoss units. Snipe observers if you're going for the Widow Mines playstyles. And like I said, just try to trade as much as you can. Be careful to not lose all your Cyclones. This is something that will come down to practice, you know, how far you can go, when can you push, and so on. But these are some more in general tips on how to deal with Protoss units and just a build order guide in general. If the Protoss is going air, carriers are actually not that great against this, or Tempests, because Tempests are very low HP, so Cyclones can demolish them. You know, try flanking the Tempest with two sides with Cyclones. If you're playing against carriers, just lock onto the carriers and demolish them. The great thing about this is because you're getting armor upgrades, carriers won't be as good against mech, which is really weird to say, but, you know, that's how it is. And just don't allow Protoss to get that 200 army. Make sure you're active on the map. Make sure you're trading. And, enjoy the battle mech. If you're a bio player, I've said this in my versus Zerg build order battle mech guide. If you're a bio player and you hate slow mech, this is the playstyle for you. Check it out. If you're a mech player that loves camping, well, this playstyle is just better than camping because these Cyclones are awesome. So, yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention is, again, I mentioned it in the battle mech versus Zerg guide. I will be doing a series called Battle Mech to Grandmaster, where I won't be playing on, you know, new account. I'll be playing on my main account, which is around top 50 Grandmaster, and I'll be playing against top EU Grandmaster players with this specific playstyle, and I'll be uploading a lot of those games on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested for an actual gameplay videos, you know, how this should work, check those out. By the time you're watching this guide, the series should be out. So just you know, check out my YouTube channel. If it's not, it will be there, I promise. Last thing, I'm gonna give you guys a little game after I finish babbling, just kind of to see how powerful the battle mech can be if you play it correctly. But for now, that is it for me. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video today. I really hope it helped you. If it did, make sure to like the video, leave the comment down below. What do you think about this, and what kind of guides you would like to see next, whether you're a Terran or a Protoss boy. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Now on to the little cheeky gameplay video. Enjoy. I could have produced way more.
Go ahead.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
I'm gonna just ask him, because I honestly don't know. I haven't really talked to anyone since the patch came out.
Stay in the rear.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
SCV ready. Ben? What's going on? Go ahead.
Yeah, like, you know, me winning here and there against Protoss, it's not like, oh my god, it's viable. It's like, you know, I gotta win. But to call something viable at, like, high level is consistently winning with it. Like, if he knows I'm gonna do mech, and I beat him, like, 5 games, right? That's like, okay, you know, he tried different things, and he still lost. But one win doesn't mean much. That's why we're gonna try to get that little cheeky win again.
Bad news. Fan the
And again and again and again.
fan the rear. Go ahead. Bad news.
And
Go
again and
ahead.
again and again.
FTV
And then
ready.
some more.
Ah!
Did he win? I mean, there's an emote for that. It's called 100% win rate.
That's low.
Yep. Fan the rear with the gear. What's going on? Ah! Huh? Bad news. Fan the rear with the gear. Go ahead. What's going on?
Can't build there.
Ah! Huh? Bad news.
Command energy's too
Hear me.
low.
What's going on? Ah. Fan the rear with the gear.
Okay, so I went with the gas first variation now. I want to see how that one's gonna pan out.
Oh, that's all?
I don't think his probe went back home. I think he's staying on this side of the map. I might be wrong, but
Got some. What?
we'll see.
You want something?
Ready. Bad news.
Add-on is up and running.
Yeah. What's it worth? Few them.
We'll
What?
need more
You
supply
want something?
depots for that.
Got some. What's it? I'm listening. What?
Okay, never mind. Maybe he did send probe back home.
What's going?
And also the question is, should I get this instantly?
FTV ready.
Shit, I'm stuck.
Few the reaper. Got some. Got some.
Oh!
Listening.
Hold up! Hold the phone.
What? Yeah. What's
Bad news. Go.
Command center has been upgraded.
You hear me?
Not enough energy.
FTV ready.
Comms open. Show. Comms open.
Fan the rear with the gear.
Show me who you want to die.
What's going on?
Channel's clear.
Whew,
Inside.
that was a good one.
Show me who.
Not enough.
Optics online.
We don't have enough minerals.
Wait, they're 100 gas?
You got
Add-on
coordinates or
complete.
what?
Wait, am I crazy or were Cyclones when Legacy of the Void came out? They were 150, 150.
Channel's clear, boss.
Am I confused here?
That's gonna require more gas.
Come. Cyclone receiving.
Ready.
Not enough gas.
Systems go. Channel's clear. Show me who you want to die.
FTV ready.
Got it. Show me who you want to die.
We need more Vespine.
Huh?
I was convinced they were 150, 150 when Legacy of the Void came out.
This ought to be good.
Research complete. Add-on complete.
Channel's clear. Come. Show me who you want to die. Channel's clear, boss. Comms. Show me who you want to die.
FTV ready. FTV ready. Go ahead.
You got coordinates or what? Some fire here.
FTV ready.
Got a target in mind. You got.
Big jump.
This ought to be good. Channel's clear. Comms open. Cyclone receiving. This ought to be good. Cyclone en route. You got coordinates coordinates or what?
SCV ready. Ready to raise some hell.
Adjusting.
What's going on? Ah! You scared me!
Can't build there.
Channel comms open.
Bad news? Go ahead.
Is Battle Mech viable versus Protoss?
That'll cost more minerals.
SCV ready.
Oh, I think I might kill him now.
Show me who you want to
I think he's dead, boys.
Need more minerals for that. Additional supply depot.
And I know there's one voice in your head that's like,
Our supply is insufficient.
yeah.
SCV ready.
Got it. Is show me. You got coordinates or what? Channel comms open.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. So Battle next year is still dead. Yes. How did you know? How did you know you could attack and win? That's a good question. I knew that I could attack and win because the early game went. Wow, we had same APM. The early game went really well for me. So I killed the Phoenix, and then I saw that he had 2 Oracles, which means that he didn't have more Phoenix because I saw 1 Phoenix and then 2 Oracles. So I caught his first Stalker off guard and I killed it. Then he warped 2 Stalkers. Then I locked and killed both of those. And I killed the Oracle. And I actually didn't lose a single unit with that first push. Like both of my Oracles retreated alive. Right? I pushed with 2 Oracles, I think. Or 2 Cyclones. Jesus, I keep mixing up the units. And then after that, like, the game just went poor for him. He was having to pull probes. I killed a pylon. He had to rebuild that. And then when I scanned his main base, I saw that gateways are very, very late at that point in the game. And he was only on 3 gates. So I knew that I could win the game. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. And make sure to check out one of my previous videos. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a very nice day. And I'll see you guys next time.